Dana, and this is my informative speech, and this is my family. Alright, so my topic for my informative speech is on organic versus GMO. The purpose for this is to inform others about organics and about GMO. My thesis statement is, in order to fully understand the effects of GMOs and the results of the impact on humans and livestock and economic concerns. Let's say one day you're shopping at the store with your daughter, and you need to go buy some tomatoes. You're walking down the aisle, and to your right you have organic, and to your left you have inorganic. Now, to you, organic costs a little bit more compared to where inorganic is a little bit cheaper. What's the difference? Now, your daughter may ask you the same thing. Do you know how to reply? Do you know what the difference is between organics and GMOs? If not, that's great. I'm going to tell you all about it. Alright, so, a brief history about GMOs, which are also known as genetically modified organisms, has actually been agricultural before recorded history. Prehistoric farmers actually have been selecting the most productive plants and seeds from their domestic crop up to 10,000 years ago. What has changed in the last quarter of the 20th century was that scientists have been selecting the most productive traits of these individual gene levels and controlling them and placing them in the new genes in new crops. Gene splicing is technology entered into the food industry. Now this is where you start seeing genetically engineered produce. Gene splicing technology entered the food industry in 1990. The FDA approved the safety of the new strain of GMO, rennet. Rennet is used to curdle milk and to form curds and whey. By 1995, fully 67% of your cheese produce in the U.S. was being made with rennet. In 1994, Monsanto introduced a form of bovine growth, which is BGH, that was manufactured by genetically modifying bacteria. Farmers could inject that into the cows, especially to dairy cows because it's a hormone, into them and increase their milk production. Now, some of the effects of GMOs on livestock would be GMO foods have been linked to digestive, to reproductive disorders, liver and kidney damage, tumors, and premature death in livestock and in tested animals. The very first 2-year study, long-term animal study done in 2012 at the Caen University in France produced alarming results with tumor growth and death. But the safety of that. The effects of GMOs on the economy. In 1999, sales of the organically grown foods, fibers, beverages, nutritional supplements, cleaners, and even personal products totaled only $1 billion in the U.S. In 2008, total organic sales totaled over $24.6 billion. Organic produce are still a small part of the overall U.S. market, but they are among one of the fastest growing products. For example, between 2007 and 2008, organic food sales increased 15.8%, while the overall food market increased only 4.9%. That propelled the organic share of the food market from 2.8% in 2006 to 3.5% in 2008. Around the world, 138 countries have some sort of organic farming in program or market with 30.4 million hectares, 75.12 million acres managed organically. A growing number of the U.S. and the world consumers want simply organic grown food. And they are willing to pay a little bit more for them. Ironically, some researchers suggest that most of the supporters of organic movements don't come from the rural America, but from suburban America. It seems that this market, driven by demand from consumers and farmers, are scrambling to catch up. In the U.S., strict rules for crops or livestock species, such as the USDA, if the farmers or agricultural corporations want to advertise or sell produce that is organic, they need to have land that has not received any substance of a minimum of 3 years before harvest of their first crop. That means no synthetic herbicides, no pesticides, no synthetic fertilizers, or genetically modified organisms. The varieties of grains must be certified organic seeds or stock. Regulations prohibit GMO variation. Crop rotations also help with insect control and weed control because it breaks up the cycles of the pest species. In addition, organic weed control uses mechanical cultivators and no-till mulchers or in-seed or crop covers. Of all the practices have to be carefully documented, organic farmers will admit that they may have to work a little bit harder, but it's worth it. Now, a few things about organic living is, on average, a research team has found that Organic Center has observed that serving of organic plant-based food contain about 25% more of the 11 nutrients compressed in a study than the comparable size serving of the same food produce. Produce farmers' method. The natural superiority of the food produce originally largely derived from the rich soil that organically is composed, has the compost been created, as well as strict limitations of chemical inputs that organic certifications mandate. So, to conclude, that's just a few things about organic. There's so much more to cover, but thanks for listening, and hopefully we'll see you later.